Hello, and welcome back to another Rise of Empires Ice and Fire video with me, Mr. Gill. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for all of your previous views, likes, comments, suggestions, subscriptions, and all of that jazz. I really appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit today about which troops. What troops, who troops, which troop, why troops. I get a lot of questions still. People asking me which is the best troops to have, and nobody's going to really like the answer to this, but the answer to this is all of them are the best troops to have. It just depends on what you're actually going to do. So we're currently in my Race to Castle 25 account. We have just opened up the possibility of tier 7 cavalry, which is fantastic. Now, if anybody's watched me for any length of time, you know that I like cavalry, and I always focus on cavalry at the start. I do this for two reasons. One, cavalry has the fastest speed, so we can come in here and have a look at that. 16 marching speed, so they're going to be able to move the fastest compared to, say, let's have a quick look in here at the footmen. Not that one. We want to look at that one to compare like to like. Marching speed is only 12, and say with the archers here, the marching speed is this one. There we go. Is only 12 as well. So cavalry have the fastest marching speed. Now, why do I need the fastest marching speed? In my view, it's just about time management early on in the game. I like things to be moving a little bit faster than they do. Now, that's why I have cavalry at the start. However, there are definitely reasons for having every other troop type as well. So let's go through a little bit what you're going to need and when you should start to focus on what type of troops. So currently we're at castle level 21. We are 2 weeks away from the Reign of Chaos starting. Now the Reign of Chaos obviously comes after Dragon Relic, so we're 9 days away from Reign of Chaos starting. Reign of Chaos requires you to have two things. One, speed, but two is demolition power. Now, demolition power is the power of your troops to take a tile with minimal effort. Okay, so each tile, and we can't really see this because we're not in Reign of Chaos, but each tile in Reign of Chaos has a durability, say, of 500 500. And basically, you want to be able to take that 500 away with your demolition power. In order to do that, your demolition power has to be higher than 500. If my demolition power in a particular legion is 501, that means that when I attack that tile, I will take it in one hit. I do not need to attack it again. Now, that is regardless of the troop type. Now, we're just talking about purely the demolition power here. If it's above 500, I'll be able to take that tile. So that then leads us to the fact that the highest demolition power troop types in the game are the footmen. Bamity bam. And that is something you actually can't really see. You can't really see it, can you? Wait a sec. That's the archery, guys. Let's just check. Combat power 4.9, defense HP. Yeah, okay, fine. And then in here, information, combat power 4.9. Yeah. You can't see a demolition power thing here, which is odd, and I don't really know if I've missed something here or I'm forgetting. I did have that vaccine, the first dose of the vaccine yesterday. I'm a little bit fuzzy-headed today. I feel like I've just got out of a long sickness, basically. But basically, I know, everybody knows, or if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, that footmen have the highest demolition power. So when it gets to Reign of Chaos, not only will you be wanting speed, which we're going to come into a second, but you're going to be wanting the highest demolition power troops you can. And those are going to be the highest tier footmen you can have. By having those highest tier footmen, you're going to be able to take enemy tiles in one hit, as long as, obviously, you also have enough footmen and enough kind of combat power. You can't just send one footman which has a demolition power of whatever. You need to be able to send enormous amounts which have a high demolition power above 500. Now, so that means that coming into Reign of Chaos, we do have to think about our footmen as well. Before that, we've been thinking, oh yeah, let's just have some calves because they're gathering and they're doing everything they can. That's fantastic, and they're a bit speedy. Now we have to consider we've got 10 days. We're going to need to have some footmen going as well. This is then not to even begin to consider that if we want to raid people, we're going to need some higher attack level troops. And those are the archers. If we come in here and have a quick look at the flap, like so. We can see that archers have the highest attack of 73. We're all looking at tier 7 troops here at the moment. The highest attack of 73. We can come in here and double check that. Make sure that we're not being an idiot, but that's not the right one. That's tier 7. Okay, we've got 46 for tier 7 footmen in their attack. And over here, back, tier 7 I said. We've got 61 here in the cavalry. So, now we're at the point where basically we've started training cavalry at the start of our game because that's the ones we like and they're fast and they can carry lots. Then we're going, oh my god, we've got to get ready for Reign of Chaos, so let's start training up some footmen. Then we've gone, you know what, I've not done a lot of raiding, so now I should start raiding people as well. I am a raider, I think. Am I a raider? I think I'm a raider. I have no idea. Class. I'm a farmer. Okay, fine. That's fine. I think I was a raider at the start of the series and I switched it to a farmer. But we are going to switch back to being a raider relatively soon, so that we're going to need to have the highest tier attack troops we can, which are going to be our archers. So, we need these all for different reasons, okay? So basically, when people ask what troop types are best, I'm always going to say all of them, depending on what you're possibly doing. And then we can get into the intricacies of, obviously, tier 1 cavalry have a higher load capacity than tier 7, 8, or 9, so they can carry more. So you should also have a load of tier 1 cavalry around in order to carry stuff. You can see here I have a whole load of horsemen, which I switch out my legions, so that then when I go gathering, everybody's a horseman. They can gather as much as possible, and then they bring it back. And then switch it into the Arcane Knights, or just upgrading now from the Heavy Bow Riders to the Arcane Knights. And then you can see here that I have, but not greatly, but I have started training up some higher level archers and higher level footmen in order to be ready for Reign of Chaos, and in case I want to raid. Now, I would obviously like to raid and take part in KEs. One big reason why I don't is the massive lag issues I get when recording that KEs, and also that reset for KE is midday on Saturday, which is when I am always working. Pretty much always I am on shift on a midday at Saturday, so it's very rare that I have time to actually be ready for that. So, I just wanted to talk, I want to recap, because a lot of people ask me this, what should I be having? So we're going to lay it out. Effectively, between castle level 1 and castle level 15, I would not be worried too much about what you're training. You want to get to the higher tiers. Once you get that you can open up tier 5 or say tier 6 troops, which is what castle level 19 is tier 6. Once you get to there, that's when I would start massively training up a load of troops. And that's currently the situation I am in. Now we're at castle level 21. Since about castle 19, I've started to massively train my troops. Now, a lot of people will say, oh yeah, but you need troops before then. I didn't necessarily. We know it took us about, what was it? It was 3 weeks to get to castle level 19. And obviously, you know, I'm a little bit slow when I was recording it and doing it, you know, for you guys. But it took us about 3 weeks. In that time, yes, I could have been raiding a little bit more. Maybe I could have been gathering a little bit more, but not that much that it makes much of a difference. So I wasn't very worried about my troops until castle level 19 and tier level 6. At that point, I started training. So what I'm currently aiming for is to have a full set of tier 1 cavalry. So those are the level 1 horsemen for gathering. And by a full set, I mean I need however many this adds up to. How many is it? 120,000 plus 42, so 162,000 plus 22, 184,000 plus 18 is 194, 202,000. Yes, that's about just 200,000 plus. I need of every troop type. So we're aiming for 200,000 of the tier 1 horsemen so that I can fill every legion. And obviously, I will continue to upgrade my legion training camps, so I might need more than that. But 200,000 is a fair enough goal to start with. I'm now training 200,000 of the tier 7 cavalry because I do not believe I will get to tier 8 in the next 9 days. There is a possibility that I would, and then I can upgrade those troops or promote those troops. But I'm kind of thinking, I don't think I'm going to get there in 9 days. We'll see, but that's for another episode, but we'll see. So currently training 200,000 of the tier 7 cavalry. That's for speed, so that when in a Reign of Chaos duel, I'm going to be as fast as I possibly can be, not as fast as anybody can be, but as fast as I can be in order to build roads or take tiles or attack structures, etc., etc. I am about to upgrade the barracks here and get it up a few levels so that I can start training tier 7 footmen. And those guys are purely for taking tiles in single hits so that my demolition power is increased. This is a secondary option to the cavalry. I don't think in the first couple of duels I need to worry so much about that, but I do think it will get increasingly important during the middle and end of the season. So that's kind of the focus, is to have roughly 200,000 tier 7 within about 4 to 6 weeks. And then I have to start thinking about whether or not I want to raid. Now, as I said, I do want to switch my class to raider, so I will start thinking about how I can train some archers up. That, however, is what I only want for my main legion. So in that instance, I'm only going to try and train about 120 to 150,000 of the highest tier archers I can, in case I want to be hitting someone at any point. Now, obviously, people are going to say, yeah, but if you hit them with cavalry, you're going to be able to loot more stuff than you would if you hit them with a whole bunch of archers. So there is the plan to maybe mix up the legions and the troop types, but also, if I'm going to be doing KE, I'm not really worried about the resources. I'm worried about the points that I will get in the Clash of Provinces. So I'm purely going for a let's just kill everything that I possibly can. So I hope that's going to help some people. And obviously, a lot of people are going to have ideas down below, and they're going to tell me, oh, actually, you should have, a mixed legion of archers at the front and cavalry at the back, and that's fine, and that's fantastic. I'm going to say that I like to keep things as simple as possible. And that's why everybody who's ever watched me knows that I am a very simple person, a very lazy person. So just thinking in the way I want to do it is just to be able to go, right, I'm raiding, switch out everything for these archers. Right, I'm building a road in Reign of Chaos, switch out everything for these high-level cavalry. Right, I'm going Gathering Day, switch out everything for these tier 1 horsemen. Right, I need to take this tile, it's integral for the success of the duel. Switch everything to my higher level footmen. That's the plan. And that's how we're going to go. And that's my kind of little discussion about troop types. And as I said, I did get this question enormous amounts down in the comments down below. It's like, what troop types are best if I want to do, if I'm forever? And I'm like, there's no ones forever. You have to have troop types specific to the task you're doing. So you should just constantly be training everything you possibly can. Sounds good? Get to it. Catch you in the next one. See ya.